The full-time 15s contracts come into force very soon. You said before that this is the first step on the ladder, but that women's rugby shouldn't rush itself into professionalism. So what are your thoughts on the contracts?
I'm absolutely thrilled that the contracts are there. For the sustainability of the game, our national team needs to be successful. And then that brings in lots of other players that want to play the game, lots of youngsters. The youth coming through at the moment is amazing, way stronger than it's ever been in the past, because of the fact that they won the World Cup in 2014 and produced such a great final in 17. And so that's really, really important. But I think if you try to make the whole game professional overnight, that's never going to work, because we have to build the interest in the game. We have to have numbers arriving at and actually watching games. We need the sponsorship to come into it in order that you can actually say to these players, right, this is a sustainable contract. So the contracts the RFU have offered are forever. They're there now, which is phenomenal. You can't say then to a club player, oh, let's do this, give up your job, and they give up the job, and 6 months later you have to say, I'm sorry, we can't sustain that. You can't mess with them. As I said, that they're not just rugby players, they're human beings, and they need that security. So I think that the next step after these contracts is that the top sort of 4 or 5 in each club are able to go semi-pro, and this is outside obviously of the internationals, where they spend 2 to 3 days in their week where they can be rugby players. And get the opportunity to rest properly, to eat properly, to train really well on their own specifics, their position-specific stuff, which is difficult to do when they're in a full-time working environment. And then you see how that goes and how you can sustain that, and then maybe they become full-time as time goes on, or you bring more players onto that, and over a period of 5 or 6 years you end up with a very similar situation to the women's football, where they are now all professional players who play in their Super League.